The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I was watching the footy over the weekend. Or we're actually watching the KO Mini of the Origin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The other day. And Archie was asking me, and this is a question I used to have when I was a kid too. You know the ball boys in the Origin games? Or if you're at the Australian Open, the tennis ball boys, that type of stuff?
Ball kids.
Ball kids, yeah, sorry. Do they get paid for that?
Oh, good question. I doubt it. I reckon they'd be from clubs.
That's what-
potential tennis.
Archie's
tennis
like,
players.
that'd be the
No, they're not paid.
That'd be the coolest job in the world. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Would
I
be a
don't
good
know
job.
if you get money for that.
If you're on the circuit, like I've got Australian Open on January, and of course we kick into NRL season. You know, the Lions want me for 7 games.
Professional ball
You're
kid.
actually on the pro tour.
Oh, yeah.
They're offering me 120 a year. I think I'm worth more than that now. You know?
There was a shot of a kid. It was a boy who was out on the field. I can't remember what game it was during the weekend.
Yeah.
And he was standing behind the guy taking the conversion. It's a packed stadium. The guy's lining up the kick. The actual player is lining up the kick. Did you see this, Buzz?
Yeah, I think it was mimicking Nick Meaney for the Storm.
And this kid is such a fan that he knew every nuance of Nick Meaney's setup. As Nick Meaney would take a step back, this kid would take a step back. Nick Meaney did this thing where he lifted his leg just before, he does a bit of an arm swing. The kid's behind him doing it out in the middle of the field. The guy does the arm swing. The kid does the arm swing. Takes this really deliberate step forward and places his foot down before he begins his run up. The kid does the exact same thing. Comes through, does the exact follow through. Meaney kicks the goal, and then the kid goes over. I think he picked up the kicking tee.
Yeah. We'll put that on our Instagram, Ash, Luttsy and Susie
pretty
O'Neill.
cool.
It was just like, wow. Like that kid, his job is something that he actually loves. Like genuinely loves.
I hope you didn't get reprimanded for it. There's a chance he did.
Oh, you reckon? There could be a boss out there going, you're there to pick up
Gary,
Yes.
stop that, mate. It's on television. I know what you're doing.
Oh, it was terrific.
Yeah, right, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's good.
In swimming, they use the up-and-coming swimmers. So I think I've got a photo with maybe Alicia Coots, who ended up being an Olympian as well, won gold medals, of being like my basket lady. So in the swimming, that you put your clothes in your basket, and then the up-and-coming kids come and collect it. Like usually a swimming club does it. So I presume
Right.
the tennis would be the same, like a tennis
Was that a
club.
basket lady?
Basket lady.
Basket person.
Basket, yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Basket person.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Hey, just talking about, jobs in sport and all the rest of it with kids, it reminded me, in New York at the moment, the 2020 World Cup is on
Yeah.
in the States.
In the Caribbean? Yeah.
It's across both, I think.
Yes. But they took it to New York.
Yeah, how cool.
And, how good. Like, trying to expand the game and trying to get the Americans to understand the concept of cricket. I don't know if you've ever tried to explain cricket to someone who has no idea, but it's
American.
It's so difficult.
Especially test games.
Yes,
Yes.
to try and explain it. Anyway, so they've got it happening at whatever stadium it was, and then they've got the cricket nets in the back of the stadium so that pundits, just people from the crowd, can come up, and they've actually got like a cricket net and people can practice bowling.
Oh, yeah.
And then they've got the people who are showing you how to bowl, but they're just people that have picked up like 2 days' work, and they've been
really?
through.
They've read the form.
They've been through a prelim course about what you can and you can't do, and they're trying to explain to people as they come up and try and bowl for the first time. I reckon if you haven't learnt how to bowl a cricket ball by the age of,
10?
10, 12...
Yeah.
There's something always Gumby about your action. Like from that point on, you never quite make it through.
Yeah,
that
you either
old.
know when you're a kid or you don't.
Yeah, you need to learn it young.
I didn't do enough because I can't bowl now.
Yeah. So if you try to do it now, it'd look a bit...
It looks Gumby.
It looks a little bit Gumby. But when we did it at the nets once and you got better as the day went on. You
but-
actually were very quick.
But it's a thing you got to do when you're little.
Yeah, it's a learned skill. Anyway, so someone's trying... There's footage out of someone explaining to, just some punter who rocks up how to bowl, except the person that has just rocked up is former South African cricketer Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn? Dale Steyn.
What's he doing lining up to bowl?
He's just doing it for the.
He was a fast bowler,
and it's like
One of the best.
it's like
That's funny.
and he bowls a cricket ball and it's still got some zing on it. And the guy's like, oh no, so you cocked your elbow a little bit there. You've got to have your elbow completely straight. And Dale's like, oh, right. So then he gets the ball and he has another go and he takes out like middle stump. And the guy says,
I did see that. He kind of hit it on the full right.
and the guy goes,
bottom of the stump.
no, it didn't bounce before. It's got to bounce.
Have you seen the footage of a professional female golfer? Same thing happening to her.
No.
There's just a punter there next to it, like a golf range, and she's a professional golfer, really good golfer, and he's a Gumby, and he starts giving her tips as well.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
really?
Same thing, and she's going, oh, right. He goes, you'd
thank
be
you.
really good if you just, kept your eye on the ball and twisted it. She goes, oh, really? Would that be helpful?
Thank you for your help.
Who does that? I mean, even it's something. I don't know. I'm not saying, those guys are getting a work gig for 2 days at the cricket, but whenever you play, if you play a 4, of golf,
Oh yeah.
and you get that person that isn't that good themselves, we're just playing a social round. They're just an okay golfer, and they find it necessary to pull you aside and go, you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Oh,
Your backswing, if you straighten that up and follow through,
do you know what
you're
I
just
do?
going to change your game. It's where in your DNA do you think that is appropriate?
It's one of the most
in a
frustrating-
social game of a corporate game of golf where you're on the beers that someone thinks they can change your game. What is that? Is that
It's like
is
at
it
that point, not
psychopathic
only
or
does that,
sociopathic or something, there's something that fits into.
not only does that person think that they are a great golfer, but at that point they're also a great teacher.
Yes, you're a great communicator.
Yes.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I want to do tech talk with Nick, Know-It-All Nick. Hello. Because, hi, Nick.
Yes,
Remember to
tech
turn
talk.
your mic on there, buddy boy.
Sorry, that's old.
dear.
That's old technology. There, we're talking about some new stuff here, aren't we?
So,
Suze?
yes, Nick came to me yesterday after the show and said, can I just get a portrait of your face for something I'm doing? I said, yeah, sure. He goes, stand behind the cactus wall. And I thought you were taking a photo of my face. And I go, what are you doing this for? And he said, don't you worry about that. You'll see it later.
Don't you worry about that.
Because I trust him.
Don't
I'm
you
like,
worry about
okay.
That's the front page of the paper, though. Don't you worry about that.
And, that's probably why I said it. And the next thing I saw it on Instagram. So you'd taken a whole photo of me just standing there, but then you made me dance to a JoJo Siwa song. And I said,
So you danced to that
I didn't do
No.
it. No. He took a photo of me just standing there.
full length.
Full length.
Yep.
And then he took it home and made me somehow dance to a JoJo
right.
Siwa song. And I said, how did you do that? Because it looks like I'm dancing.
I would love to say that I'm just that talented, but no, I'm kind of lent a bit more into AI as it goes forward.
That's AI, is it?
That's AI, yeah.
This is
So
the first foray into AI for me.
for you, yeah, and that's the thing. I was actually just having this conversation off with Lockie. It's probably like an ethical talk I need to have with all of you at some point. But we might as well just do it here while
do it here.
while we're on air. So
Yeah.
what I did there, that's a TikTok trend that's been going around for the last couple of weeks, and basically it uses an AI program that just takes your image and I guess wraps it around something that already exists. Therefore, that was JoJo Siwa, her Karma dance, and I essentially just uploaded the photo of you, and it wraps around the original video of her, and then transposes it. So therefore, it looks like you are dancing.
Can it only do that?
It can do multiple things, and that's how when people talk about we hear things about deep fakes and all that. This is like basic accessible technology for like someone like me who's just going, oh, look, I can use a program and make that happen. Someone who is a lot more skilled in this area could make a perfect likeness, for example, of Susie doing that. Now, it can be as wholesome and cute as a JoJo Siwa dance, or it can be something a lot more nefarious. And that's actually where the question
Yeah, well,
probably has to go to you.
if you're asking for permission right now, you are not. You are. You are. I give you no clearance to use me in any JoJo Siwa.
Okay, so
related.
just JoJo Siwa.
I
no
only
JoJo
want to be
Siwa.
used for nefarious circumstances.
Okay, good. Because that is the greater question. And just for example, for you guys who have been in the public spotlight for like the last 20 years or so,
Thank you.
yeah, again,
He's really pumping you guys up,
welcome.
isn't he?
This is your life. But at the same time, but it means just for example, you guys, your image has been out there in the public domain for quite a while. Whether we look at like billboards or anything like that, people say.
mate.
You can't go anywhere.
Push through.
My question is, are you guys comfortable with having your likeness used for like a program like AI, where it can be fed in and therefore used to make you dance or
Do different things.
Do different things.
And I've been trying to learn how to dance for 30 years, mate.
So that
you
actually
can
might
make me
help.
sort
I
of
think
AI,
dancing's fine.
You go, but I'll tell you,
but
here's
what- yeah.
here's a question: is this the same technology that you use when you, like I see people like that it's not their voice, but it sounds like their voice, and they're recommending a product that they're not recommend. That you know what I mean? I'm
That's
going,
not
there's
cool.
no way. Like I saw Lofty and Melissa Downs, Channel 9. It was,
Intellectual property, that is.
they had it as if they were presenting it as an advertisement, and I'm like, they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't. But your voice, you're on podcast, you're on radio. It's already out there, and someone could actually take that.
I'm happy that you use me because I trust everything you do. I actually wanted to know what site you did to go to it.
That one was called Viggle AI.
Viggle.
And there's something I've been working on for the next couple of days. You might see. But again, I had to have this conversation with you guys first before, again, ethically, because this is the world that I live in and I work in. This is my
Glad
my
we did it
livelihood.
on air.
Yeah.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
A 71-year-old was arrested for allegedly stealing 2,800 boxes of Lego.
Oh, my God.
This piqued my interest because
2,800 boxes.
it's so expensive now. I couldn't even tell you how much it is. Well, when our kids were little, we didn't even buy them proper Lego. We bought them the...
Oh, no. What was the
Play
other
that
one
sad
called?
music.
yeah,
What was the other
Hi,
one?
I'm Susie O'Neill.
that was so expensive.
I didn't always live in the mansion I live in now. When our kids were young,
We bought them that Chinese Lego.
they had Chinese Lego.
What was it called? I remember it.
No, it was actually just normal Lego, but the reason, and it was so bad that when they finished making something, you had to glue it together to keep it together.
Oh.
Like, 'cause
Well, it didn't look the same. You could tell the difference.
yeah, but now that they've moved out of home, we're
You can afford Lego again.
sad music.
Break out the good Lego.
No, Cliff actually bought really fancy Lego the other day. Like adults really get into it now. Because when I was a kid,
What? Cliff's in a Lego?
he just bought a really fancy car Lego thing.
A car. So he's going
car.
to construct his own car. And
Yeah.
where shall this car be displayed? In your house?
Probably in one of the enclaves.
Is it proper Lego?
Proper Lego. He had to order it. It was so popular that every time he actually bought it and ended up buying it from the airport Lego shop because everywhere he looked, it was sold out. And it took months to arrive. And when it arrived, they rang him, and he didn't ring back in time. And he rang back 2 days later, and they said that they've sold his piece.
Oh,
of
it's one of
Lego.
those gimmicks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're like collectibles.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
We actually have Lego displayed in our house. We do already.
Near the train set.
No.
What do you mean? What's
No,
in the
it's
Lego?
actually really good Lego that Alex, my daughter, she did actually make this probably a couple of years ago. Last year she was living at home.
Yeah.
When she was studying to de-stress, she would make Lego. It's a pot plant. It's a beautiful cherry blossom. It's so pretty when it's finished. I should give a photo that you can put it up in your house. And
Really?
it looks like really nice decor. Really, really nice decor.
Okay.
Because when you were growing up, I mean, I was really into Lego and so was my brother. There was an era, every year, every sort of generation had a different theme of Lego. Do you remember that? Like
I was never into Lego.
weren't you?
No, I don't think we ever had it as kids. Play that sad music. Hi, I'm Ash Brad.
He couldn't afford the cheap Chinese
in
stuff.
Harvey Bay, we couldn't even afford the cheap Chinese.
So
Lego.
we had it growing up. I obviously grew up a bit better
What do you
than
mean
my
different
kids.
eras? Like different things you built with it?
Like
I
when
remember Star Wars being a thing.
Well, when I grew up, it was space Lego.
Yeah.
Everything was spaceships.
Yeah.
And then after that became, I think, the Friends Lego. Do you remember Friends? It was like pink sort of Lego and stuff.
No.
No, you don't.
No, I wasn't
What
that.
are
I
the
wasn't that into it. But I will say,
Really?
it's one of the phenomena I can't believe is still probably bigger than ever.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's
I
hung
would
in
not-
there.
If you would have asked me that question in 1990, I would have gone, "Come on, Lego's come and gone, right?"
It's really
It's
fun.
massive.
It's massive.
I
And you get
remember walking
instructions.
into like one of those big Lego stores somewhere or other.
Oh, there's a really big one somewhere.
Yeah, I was
everywhere.
overseas
The US?
somewhere. Yeah, in the US somewhere. I couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't believe that it's one of those. It's like if the Rubik's Cube hung in there, which I guess it kind of has, but it's just one of those things that I thought was a fad, but it's just stood the test of time. But I didn't know that grown-ups were still into it.
Yeah.
I can't believe
This
Cliff
guy-
can't believe Alex was doing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Alex is really good with fine motor skills,
Yeah.
and so she loves.
Probably a good
and she loves
way
following
to-
instructions
yeah.
and things, and to de-stress.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, 70, this guy was 71.
So was he stealing it just because he couldn't afford it?
Yeah, because he couldn't afford it. He was addicted to it. And there's been a growing black market for the bricks in recent years, for those who know the resale value of these toys. Some of which have become collectibles after being discontinued. Oh, funny, my mum kept our old Lego.
Is he still married, that 71-year-old, or what? I'm saying there's deeper problems with his life.
Yeah.
Imagine if you stay out of trouble
single.
your whole life. You know, you stood on the straight and narrow, and then when you break bad, it's because you want the Millennium Falcon.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Yeah, so Mum said I was born in the Martyr Mothers at Wollongabba Public Hospital.
That's where I was too.
Yep. And this is what she said it was like. I've heard her tell this story before, actually. But she said, during your pregnancy, I used to go to the clinic there, and we all used to have to take a bottle. I had a Vegemite bottle with my urine sample in it. And she Buzz, this is what she reckons it was like. And she reckons they'd all sit there, all of the expectant mothers would sit there with holding a bottle of urine. Hers was in a Vegemite jar.
Well, that's a good decision because it's a dark bottle, so you can't see what's in it.
I don't know if it is.
Is it-
only
I think
it's
dark
clear, isn't it?
No, because
Is it clear or is it already brown?
clear. It's clear
No.
with the yellow lid.
Yeah, it's a clear.
I've never cleaned it out fully. I thought it was a brown thing as well.
No, it's a clear. And everyone would
You
sit
would
there
see
and
the
they'd,
yellow wee.
Oh,
they'd
dear.
be holding their
probably
cup
warm.
of urine,
Unsavoury.
and you'd be assigned a number, and then they'd call out a number. They'd go, and she'd go, you wait for your number to get called out. In this huge waiting room, they go, number 29, and you'd hop up with your Vegemite jar full of urine. And 2 weeks before she gave birth to Luke and I, she discovered that she was having twins.
Oh, 2 weeks before.
It was 2 weeks before, and then she says here,
was her first thought.
she said, I went through a large tunnel-like machine to get you discovered way before ultrasounds. I think it was an X-ray. It was 2 weeks before you popped out. She said, and then she rang. She goes, I rang your father to tell him. And you.
What does she say? I really don't know what she
And
says.
Dad just said one word into the
When I
ear.
rang your father to tell him, all he said was, all I'll say is it's in caps, it's got 4 letters with an exclamation mark
Okay.
into the earpiece.
What a shock. You've been pregnant for 9
Oh,
months.
can you imagine?
No, I
you just
cannot.
find out you're having identical
No.
twins.
And she's already got a 2-year-old, hasn't she? Or an 18-month-year-old.
18-month-old, yeah.
18-month-year-old.
In Penrith at that stage, she reckons that Dad, before we were born, he was booked in for the vasectomy.
And the machine.
Yeah.
That didn't do any damage. Like, it would have been
that's
Clearly did.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.